The first thing you should know about college is that loneliness doesn't arrive all at once. It leaks in quietly, between unpacked boxers and half-made friendships. My first semester started like everyone else's. New campus, new routines, new faces I wouldn't remember a week later. The dorm room I was assigned to was small, rectangular, and painfully symmetrical. 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 closets. Only one of them was mine. The other desk sat perfectly clean when I arrived. No laptop, no notebooks, no trash, nothing. I figured my roommate hadn't moved in yet. That night, while I was unpacking, I noticed something strange. The desk chair across from me was pulled out. Not much, just enough to suggest someone had recently stood up. I pushed it back in without thinking. That was my first mistake. By the 3rd day, my roommate still hadn't shown up. No suitcase, no bed sheets, no sign of life. But the chair kept moving. Every morning, it was angled slightly differently, sometimes facing the desks, sometimes facing my bed. Once, it was positioned directly in the center of the room. I asked the RA about it. He checked the records and frowned. "That room's been reassigned," he said. "But weird, it still lists 2 occupants." He laughed it off. I didn't. The first night it happened, I thought I was dreaming. I woke up to the sound of typing. Not loud, not frantic. Slow, intentional. Key, pause, key, pause. I sat up in bed. The other desk was empty. No laptop. No phone. Nothing that could make that sound. The typing stopped the moment I moved. I didn't sleep again that night. The next day, I noticed my notes were different. Small things. Sentences I didn't remember writing. Margins filled with tiny, vertical lines, like tally marks, always in groups of 4. I checked my laptop. History.files opened at 3:17 a.m. every night, always the same folder. My class schedule a week later. I came back from the library to find something new on the empty desk. A single sheet of paper, my handwriting. It was a list of times and locations. 8 a.m. lecture hall, 1:15 p.m. cafeteria. Jam 10:42 menit. p.m. Dorm room lights off. At the bottom was one final line. "You forgot the night class?" I didn't have a night class, at least. I didn't think I did. I checked my schedule again. There it was, of course. I had no memory of enrolling in. No professor listed. No building name. Just a room number. Basement level. I went anyway. That was my second mistake. The classroom was empty. When I arrived, lights off, chairs stacked, except for one desk. Pulled out, facing the door. On it sat a familiar chair from my dorm room. That's when I noticed something carved into the wood. 4 vertical lines, scratched deep. I heard typing behind me. When I turned around, the room was still empty, but the chair across from me slowly rolled backward, as if someone had just stood up. Campus police reviewed the security footage later. They told me something I still don't understand. According to the cameras, I had attended that class all semester, always sitting alone, always at the same desk, always typing, but never looking at the professor, because there wasn't one. I transferred dorms. The next day, the empty desk didn't follow me. The chair didn't. Moved up, the typing stopped. But every semester, without fail, I still receive an email reminder. Night class attendance, mandatory, same time. and when I check my schedule, there are always 2 names listed, mine and one that's already been crossed out. You think the horror is that someone was watching me? But the truth is worse. Whatever sat at that desk wasn't learning from me. It was waiting for its turn. The scariest part of college isn't the parties. It's how quickly you learn that nobody is actually watching out for you. This happened during the first week of my freshman year at the University of Iowa. Before routines, before instincts, before I understood how easily a bad decision could disappear into noise and music, my roommate was dead set on rushing a fraternity. Rush week hadn't officially started yet, but the parties had. He didn't want to go alone. I didn't want to rush, but I wanted friends. So I went. Thursday night, we headed off campus. Far off campus. The neighborhood changed fast. Streetlights thinned out. Houses sagged closer to the road. The frat house, if you could call it, that sat on a corner, like it didn't belong anywhere. No letters, no banner, just music shaking the walls and cars parked wherever they fit. If the music hadn't been blasting, you'd never guess what it was. The door opened to a guy holding a solo cup. Short, sweaty, smiling too hard. Inside was worse. 50 guys packed into a living room with barely any light. No airflow. Heat clinging to your skin. I counted maybe 2 girls in the entire house. Nobody seemed comfortable. Conversations felt forced. Eye contact lingered too long. People watched more than they talked. I gave it 20 minutes. That was all I needed. When I signaled my roommate to leave, a wall of bodies blocked the front door. We decided to wait it out. That's when I started drinking more than I should have. Cheap beer, warm cups. Nothing I couldn't handle. Then a heavy guy stepped in front of me and handed me a tiny bottle. He smiled and said, "That'll get you." Messed up. I didn't want it, but he didn't move, so I drank it. Things blurred faster than alcohol ever had before. The room tilted, sound flattened. Faces melted into shadows. And then nothing. I woke up in a bed. Dark room. Door closed. Music muffled through the walls. For a moment, I thought maybe I'd passed out somewhere harmless. Then I noticed the closet and the sound. A plastic bag crunching slowly as if someone had shifted their weight inside it. I didn't think. I ran down the stairs, through the living room, past the same group of guys still blocking the door. No one stopped me. That part still bothers me. Back in the car, I told my roommate everything. He asked if he should call the cops. I said no, I didn't. No why fear, embarrassment, disbelief, but I shut it down. Then he asked me a question I still hear in my head sometimes. Do you think they did anything to you? I didn't feel hurt. My clothes were still on. And when I checked the time, I'd only been gone 10 minutes. For years, I told myself I got lucky, that whatever they gave me didn't work, that I woke up before something happened. But the older I get, the more that story falls apart, because nobody panics over someone who's just passed out, and nobody hides in a closet unless they're waiting. I used to think I escaped something that night. Now, I think something went wrong for them. And the reason that house had no letters, no signs, no reputation, is because people who don't leave don't tell stories.